So on April 28, 2017, Blakely Elizabeth Puckett was born to us at 3:50 in the morning, and we didn't know at the time, whether she was going to make it or not. When we found out about Blakely, we were in St. Louis, Missouri. Went into a normal checkup. The lady does the ultrasound, the tech, and we're excited because she says it's a girl, and the doctor comes in and looks at us like something's up, and she said, your daughter has allobar holoprosencephaly. She said it's when the brain doesn't divide properly during the pregnancy, and it results in the child passing away in the womb or passing away soon after birth. We didn't really know what to do in that moment, and we just wept. Why would God knit her together in the womb in such a way that she's incompatible with life?
I mean, I was obviously heartbroken, but just like angry that this plan and this idea that I had for my life and our marriage and what I had always dreamed of.
Yeah, we were in the hospital, and all our friends came into town from all over the country, and our families waiting for her to be born. We sat in the parking garage and just waited for a little bit because we knew that this was going to possibly be the end, and that Blakely, our little girl, would actually end up passing away.
We didn't bring car seats, we didn't bring clothes, we didn't bring anything because we were expecting to go home empty-handed. And
I remember when she was born, they take her and they place her on Emily's chest, and we just wanted her to know, like, you're loved. And so we said, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then, I don't know, it felt like forever, but a few minutes or a minute later, she lets out a big scream, and she starts to breathe, and we get to hold her and we got to read her stories and sing songs with her and worship over her. We baptized her. We didn't know how long we were going to have with her.
Like, I was in survival mode at that point, in and out of the NICU. But then eventually, 3.5, 4 weeks later, we were like, we get to take her home. We didn't even think that was going to be possible. And
as fast as possible, got her here to Citrus County and got her plugged in at All Children's in St. Petersburg, and we started rolling. We loved that, the middle of her face, there wasn't a hole in her face, but there was a heart-stamped nose. She had 3 lips, and we would kiss her, and it was just like this extra lip for kissing, so sweet. She would have like these big yawns, like real big yawns. She would sleep all the time as if she was so tired, and every time, she'd be yawning, you're like, you're not tired, you've been sleeping all day. She loved her baths and having her hair shampooed and her head rubbed and her body massaged like a typical diva. And then to get the privilege to hold someone who's wounded, it's a special thing. To just hold this person who's just getting life kicked out of them, and to know that they love you back, man, those are just like moments that are just indescribable, because you can feel the Lord, and you can feel that in some odd way, in this evil thing happening, that there's something good. It reminds you that the lowest moments, the Lord is really willing to go there with you, and He's willing to sit in that with you. So
yeah, after we got back from Christmas, she got sick again, and so we went back to All Children's, and her breathing just got worse, and she ended up needing a breathing tube, and we're kind of hit with reality again, and it became pretty evident that she was getting tired and didn't want to fight anymore.
So the family came to town, and and the friends and church members, and we gathered around and on a Sunday, the Lord's Day, and she showed us that God is real, and that God exists even at the doorstep of death and beyond. And we held her, and we said goodbye, and got to carry her to the finish line. And then, you lose her. So our first question that we asked was, where'd she go? And we believed, and we have faith that as we said goodbye, that Jesus did what we couldn't do, and picked her up and held her for us.
She taught me so much about the gospel and about God's love for us, and I can say now that I wouldn't change anything because I can see God's hand over the entire thing.
Hope is the word that comes to my mind. Hope, being able to sing the song "O Come, Emmanuel," and knowing that the coming of Jesus is the renewing and making whole of my family again. And even in the decision of letting Blakely go was us believing we are going to get to see her again, and we're going to get to be with her again, and that he did already show up in space, time, and history in human form.
There's such conflicting feelings. We don't have Blakely here this Christmas, and we're missing her. But, Trip reminds us of the promise and the hope that Jesus brings, and
the celebration of the life of Jesus, because if none of this took place, there would be no joy for us to have and hope for us to have. There would be no point in us to be able to share this story or want to talk about it, but because of this little boy born, we get to have those experiences, hope and joy. And that is what Christmas has been for us this season, is a reminder of a promise to come back and a promise to make this right. And what we've seen is that God keeps his promises.